Hello, I am Richie Hunley, and I'm here with Dr. Daniel Williamson, Associate Professor in the School of Professional Counseling here at Lindsey Wilson College. We're featuring Dr. Williamson this week as part of our First Generation Friday feature. Dr. Williamson, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised in Texas, first generation, true generation college student. Came from a family of six total: mom, dad, two brothers, and a sister.
So, where did you go to college and what degrees did you attain?
Wow. Okay, that's a long story. Started out at Hill College in Hillsborough, Texas, which is a small community type of college. Studied physical therapy at first, and then pre-med in biology. Then transferred out to Tarleton State University, which is part of the Texas A&M system. Studied pre-med and biology there as well, and then ended up transitioning over and started studying law, pre-law, and started taking law courses and writing courses. Then changed my major once again into to business. Then transferred to Baylor University in Waco, Texas, where where I pursued a degree in finance, bachelor's degree in finance. And then after working in banking for a number of years, decided that wasn't for me either, and decided to pursue a doctorate in educational psychology with an emphasis in counseling.
So, did you participate in any clubs or extracurricular activities while you were in college?
The only thing I did was there was the one education that I participated in with my wife at Tarleton State University. Most of what I did was academically oriented. I didn't belong to any social organizations. And so if there was something, it was typically within the department, within the field.
Think back to your first year in college. What was that like?
Scary. Went off to college the first time I was fresh out of the Navy. Didn't know anything. I was learning, trying to learn, trying to figure out who I was. I think that was the biggest piece of it, was identity development beyond my family of origin. Once I was able to start doing that and kind of figure out what it is I wanted to do, then it just became exciting because it seemed like the world was open to me. I could just do anything, and all possibilities were available.
So, what was the biggest challenge?
Organizing my life and keeping it organized. I think that was my greatest challenge, especially when it came to the responsibility that I had for my education and taking that responsibility.
What did it mean to you to be a first generation college student?
It was a bit of a struggle. My father, after he finished his time in the Navy, was on his way to California. Stopped in Texas to see his older brother and his younger brother. And they invited him to stay on and earn a little traveling money, helping build a manufacturing plant for Owens Corning fiberglass. After the plant was built and they started operations, he decided to stay on. Became the family business. Both uncles, their kids, their boys all worked there. My father worked there, retired from there. My older brother works there now. I was expected to go into the family business and work at Owens Corning fiberglass. And so when I had to make a choice, either work hard with my brain or my back. My grandfather was a great inspiration to me, very educated man, and I wanted to kind of follow in that footstep. And doing that, there was a certain degree of rejection. My father felt very rejected. My way of life wasn't good enough for him, or his way of life wasn't good enough for me. And by rejecting that way of life, I think he felt somewhat rejected. And so it was tough. It was very tough, but I think in the end I made the right choice.
Did other family members encourage you to go to college?
My mother was for it. I don't think she understood. She has an associate's degree in nursing, so they didn't understand moving beyond that, because she accomplished that at a community college, had never been to a four-year institution or a four-year college. And so going off to a larger university, and then even a larger university, especially a private one like Baylor, that really they didn't know what to think, and they didn't know how to encourage me. So there wasn't a lot of encouragement.
What factors do you think ultimately led you to attain your degree?
I wanted something better. I wanted something better. I was really trying to think ahead. I wanted something better for me. I wanted something better for my family. When I finally settled down, got married, and had a family, I wanted to also provide a good example for what could be done.
So, you obviously went on and attained further education. What was your ultimate? Why did you ultimately decide to do that?
Well, the first round, I applied for a job. In fact, the deciding factor for me to go to college, applied for a job because I had great training from the Navy technical schools. I could read schematics, I could design systems. Walked in one day, troubleshot a system for a guy. Took me a couple hours working with him. He liked it. He hired me. I got a call that Monday. He said, "Come on Monday morning. This is a Friday afternoon. Come in on Monday morning. Bring your sack lunch. We got a lot of work to do." I got a call Monday morning at 7:30 in the morning saying they'd hired a kid with a general engineering degree that knew nothing about electronics, but because he had the degree, he got the job and I got bumped. That was the turning point for me. I knew I needed an education. Then the more education I got, the more I understood I need to know more. I need more education. And it was funny because by the time I finished my terminal degree, my doctoral degree, I realized how little I know. But by the same token, it gave me a broader range of knowing what I didn't know and helping me learn to investigate and find out.
And our last question today, this is one of my favorite ones to ask, is if you could only offer one piece of advice to other first generation college students, what would that be?
I will offer this one piece. This piece has carried me for my entire career. I had a professor come and tell me one time that college and your college classrooms were not designed to teach you everything you need to know. College is designed to give you a foundation to learn in that particular domain. Business, you're taught how to learn in business. Education, economics, psychology, you're taught how to learn so that you have that foundation to grow on. That's what college is about. If it was about teaching you everything you needed to know about the discipline, you'd never leave, ever. And so going into it with that understanding gave me the greatest motivation to learn as much about that foundation as possible so that I could work independently once I did finish.
Dr. Williamson, thank you for your time,
My
and
pleasure.
join us every week for First Generation Friday.